Welcome to BlogOS 2.0. We are doing a community collaboration between Rose's community, the Skool Homeroom, and Tim from Pinterest School, and obviously Heather from the directory on Skool. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to have Tim take it away. And at the very end, we have a special announcement from both Rose and Tim at the very end. But we're going to go ahead and take it away. So go ahead, Tim.
Awesome. Well, welcome, guys, and thank you guys for being here. If you don't know what we're talking about, you will definitely find out and actually be so interested in what we're talking about because Heather and I created this. Oh, I don't even know what it was, Heather. Probably it was months ago. We came up with it wasn't actually our own original idea, but we ran with it. One of our friend Jill, if you guys know Jill Hart, she messaged me about something, and we are here. We are. Today we are going to be talking about. It's called Skool Blog OS, and you're probably wondering what in the world does that even mean? And we're going to be talking about how to drive traffic to your school posts, creating school posts as blog posts. All right, so that's what we're going to be getting into today. We're going to be talking a little bit about Pinterest. We're going to be talking about BlogOS and how that system actually works for you and how you can treat your public school posts, if you're in a public group, you can treat those posts as a blog post. So you can drive traffic back to it using Pinterest or anything. But we're going to talk about specifically about Pinterest because if you don't know me, I love Pinterest. So I'm going to share my screen. And just like we always say, Heather, if there's at any time that you don't see my screen or you see the wrong thing, just let me know and I will fix that.
We're golden.
Okay, sweet. So, guys, before we get into School Blog OS, I'm just going to talk just a few seconds or maybe a little bit more on Pinterest. All right. So I am, if you guys don't know who I am, if you're listening to this recording or you're living under a rock, you don't know who I am, or you don't know what Pinterest School is. It is a school that will help you get traffic and sales from Pinterest. I've been using Pinterest for over 16 years. I don't even actually know how many views I have. I say 400 million. It's probably way more than that because I don't even really know because there's stats from 16 years ago that I don't even know. So I just give it that number. It's probably less, right? So, but the deal is I've been teaching this for a very long time. I started on Pinterest in 2010. The day that it launched, I literally was on the waiting list. I started teaching Etsy sellers how to use Pinterest because Etsy is actually the number one pinned site on Pinterest, which is actually crazy. But I started teaching Etsy sellers how to use Pinterest because I had an Etsy shop and it just made sense. And over the years, I've taught and taught. And then a few years ago, 2024, I launched Pinterest School. I quit Pinterest School and we're back. Which, if you don't know that story, it's a crazy one. But in 2025, fall of 2025, we launched Pinterest School, and now we're sitting at over 5,500 members. Is pretty awesome. Inside of Pinterest School, you can learn everything that you need to know, start to finish, to uh, grow your Pinterest account, get traffic on evergreen basis, automatic. I mean, basically, you make one pin, you get traffic forever. And we're going to be talking about how you can do that using posts on Skool. Okay, so there's two different types of Skool. So we're just gonna jump into it. So anyway, I guess I was gonna give you some stats on Pinterest, but listen, there's like billions of pins, billions of users. Just get on there. Just do it. It's super awesome. Plus, I mean, most of us have a Pinterest account anyway. So, but Skool Blog OS, we're gonna be talking about how we can take our posts that we post on public schools and get traffic. So there's two types of schools. There's private and there's public. If the school is public, that means all of those posts can be seen by outside people. They don't have to have an account. They don't even have to have a school account to like view that. It's just like a blog, like it's there. So you can have links, you can have images and pictures and videos and downloadable PDFs and all those different things that people can actually get without having to be a member of a school, which is very, very cool because that means that these posts can be indexed by Google. They can be found on Google, found by search engines, AI search engines. And that also means that we can pin these posts on Pinterest. We can take that link, that URL that every single school post has, and we can pin that over on Pinterest and drive traffic back to these posts. Okay. And we're going to get into why we want to do that and why that's beneficial for us. And you're going to see all that. So, BlogOS, like I said, this is a training that Heather and I started because Heather's group, you guys are in there. You should know all about this. I think if you're not there, if you're listening to this, you should go join the directory. Heather's got links. I've got links to it. Rose has links to it. So just go join the directory. It is a public school. So that means every single post that goes up into that school, it's public. People can see it, right? So we're going to be talking about, oh, okay, here we go. Our table of contents. Oh, there we go. So what's the problem? What's the opportunity? And what's the system? Okay, so and the strategy. We're going to be talking about that. All right. And the problem is most school posts do not drive traffic. Okay. So if you guys are posting on school, you're only reaching maybe your followers. If your school is public, you could actually get it out there more, obviously. But what is happening is we're posting in things like the directory and all their places where we can post our schools in our offers, but we're only getting views from those people that are in that group, which could be good, right? I mean, Heather's getting close to 1,000 members. We have other groups where with more members. So the thing is we want to get even more eyes on our stuff, right? And we can do that. So, these posts, if we're posting in these types of groups, like sometimes they get buried. Okay, they can. They definitely can because we're going to post something and it could just go away, and get buried. But we're going to talk about some ways that we're going to optimize those. Okay, so they're rarely. I mean, I look at posts all the time on school and rarely, very rare. I mean, like 99% of people's posts are not optimized for the search engine. All right. There's no keywords. There's no keyword placements. There's nothing, right? There's no resources. There's no images. There's no videos. There's no downloads. There's no resources. All right. So that means if they're not optimized for search, they're not going to get traffic. They're going to get not going to get traffic from Google because it's not going to get indexed because well, it's just not. All right. And then there's just no compounding growth. So over time, like that post is just going to get buried. It's going to go away. There's no compounding growth, right? So these are the problems. But the opportunity is school and SEO plus Pinterest equals compounding traffic. So if I can drive traffic back to a school post that I created that has my offer in it, right? And get conversation on that, guess what? That school post is going to stay up in that school. The more people comment on it, the higher it stays up into that because that's how it happens. If there's activity on a post in a school, it'll go back up to the top, right? But also we're going to be compounding that traffic because we're going to be we can send it out to Pinterest and start sending traffic back to it. So public school posts can rank on Google, AI search, be shared anywhere. And Pinterest sends long-term traffic, evergreen traffic. Because, listen, I hear people say all the time, oh, these Pinterest pins can get traffic for, a few weeks or maybe months. But listen, I am living proof of 16 years of being on Pinterest that you can get traffic from pins that you pinned years ago. I see it. I see it every day. I see my pins get traffic from pins that I posted 5, 10, however many years ago. Super awesome. Okay. So there's one strong post in a group that's public can work for you for months or years, right? Because now we're driving traffic to it from Pinterest and we're keeping that up there. If people are commenting, it's pretty awesome. Okay. So let's talk about this. So Google search, all right? So this was a while ago that this is evidence, okay? Just typing in and finding school posts on Google. It just happens. We need to Heather, we need to get in there and actually just do some more research now that we're optimizing some of these posts. It's going to be even better. But they show up. All right, we already know that, and they show up in AI. I've tested it. All right, here's some other ones. So like, let's see. There's some other ones right here. So funnel building. That was one of our friends. Who is that? What's her name? Heather. I can't remember. Anyway, but those are some examples of,
Lisa.
yeah, Lisa. Sorry, Lisa with two eyes. All right. So what is the system? So those are just some examples, guys. So what is the system? And so we need to understand how school traffic actually works. So posting quality, engaging posts and encouraging comments. Okay. So let's say I'm in the directory, for example, or we'll just use the directory for. all the examples today. I'm in the directory and I'm a member, I'm a premium member, and I want to post about my offer, my school. But in the directory, you can post about anything at not affiliate links, but sometimes you can. But you can post about anything. If you don't have a school, it's okay. If you have like a product that you created or an Etsy shop or something, you can post about those. It's not just schools, right? So that's a great th that's one of the great things about one of the many great things about the directory. It's for everyone, right? Because there's a lot of different small business owners on School. But we want to post engaging things. If I just say, hey, here's my school about Pinterest. It's awesome. You can learn this, this, and this. Here's my link, and then that's it. And I don't post an image. I don't post a poll. I don't use the all the things that School gives us. I am missing out, right? It seems like a lot of people just post and go, and that's it, right? But if I'm not engaging, if I'm not asking questions, if I'm not providing value, why is that? Why would anybody want to comment on that post and let alone even join your group if you're not providing value? So one of the things that I like to do is I like to find, and when I make a post in one of these public schools like the directory, I will go to Chat GPT AI. I say, what's the top 5 questions for Pinterest marketing that people are asking, maybe on Reddit or wherever. So I find those questions and I'm going to answer those. I'm going to post those questions and I'm going to answer those questions or one of those questions in a post over on the directory. Because one of the posts that I did was, is Pinterest dead in 2026? That's I don't know. That was a question that somebody asked on Reddit. It was a popular question, so I answered that question. I literally put that as a title. Pinterest isn't dead 2026. Here's what you can do, whatever. And I answered those questions. And now I have a blog post and a public school that I could drive traffic back to over on Pinterest or wherever it is. Okay. So, but now I also in that post, I created a poll. You guys, if you guys follow me at all, you're going to see that almost every single post that I post on School has a poll. Whether it's a single poll where you just agree with me, or it's an actual poll where you pick an item, right, that you agree with. I do polls because it creates engagement, it creates social proof. I mean, people just have fun with it sometimes, right? Like you see me post things that say like, "I love the weekend." Yep, I do. There, activity done, right? And also in that post, I had multiple pictures, multiple Pinterest size pictures. I also had a PDF download of like that my top 10 tips of Pinterest marketing. They can download that PDF for free, right? If they're coming to that post, they can download it for free. So I'm using every single thing. I think we can post 5 things on a post, like meaning like videos, pictures, and you could also then a download as well. All right, post gifts too. People like gifts, and then once we have those things, we want to make sure that our post has good keywords. Okay, so but let's focus back really quick here. So choose topics that school posts can rank for. Okay, well obviously I just told you go do some keyword research. What are people searching for, right? What are the questions that people are asking about your specific school or offer or whatever? That you can help with, right? I see Steve over here. He's on the call. He's going to post about recipes and what are the popular recipes that are people searching for? Maybe on Pinterest, maybe on Reddit, and then post those, right? Give people that value so they can come back and save it, right? So compound traffic with Pinterest, pinning straight from the actual post and then upload your pin. Okay, what does that even mean? So I am uploading a post with a Pinterest size image, and then I'm going to take that image and I'm going to pin it on Pinterest, and my link is back to the directory, back to that public post, because now it gives me another place to pin another item to pin on Pinterest that I can drive traffic back to that can get me more sales and followers and members and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so also make sure inside of your posts you have multiple places that people can sign up for whatever you want them to sign up for. You don't want to look super spammy, but I usually put 3 clickable links that click back to whatever I'm trying to get them to click on, like join here, join today, and at the very, very bottom I put it as well. Okay. And it's super powerful, you guys. So make sure you guys do those things. All right, so let's move on. I'm going to talk about this one. Oh yeah, I should have just showed this right away here, but this is the one this is one of the first ones I ever did for like kind of like the whole blog OS thing. And this is just an image, and I'm not going to take time to go find it. Y'all can just figure it out and find it. It's inside the directory.
It's
But
so old now.
it is so old. This is like the oldest thing ever, but it's awesome because listen, I was trying. What I wanted to do with this is like I found that people love cheesy potatoes. Oh, Steve, this is for you, buddy. People love cheesy potatoes, right? And there's cheesy potatoes all over Pinterest. Now, obviously, you guys, this doesn't apply to everybody. This is going to apply to me because the way that I flipped it, whatever, you might want to try to do it. But the whole point is Pinterest isn't just for cheesy potato recipes. It's your secret evergreen traffic machine for any small business. Now, inside of this post, I gave them a cheesy potato recipe. I don't know if it's any good. I didn't write it. I haven't made it, but AI wrote it, so I put it in there. It's probably good. Well, Steve, you just go find that post and make that and see if it's any good. But anyway, what I have in there is I think there was 4 or 5 different pins, okay, that I could pin over on Pinterest, and there are the PDF, and I don't know what else I put on there. I didn't even have a poll on that one, which is pretty funny because I always put polls on there. I probably just said, "Do you like cheesy potatoes? Yes or no." But this was a great post, all right, because now I'm driving traffic in 2 different ways. I have 2 different, people love Pinterest and they want to know how to make, how that could work for the business, but they also love cheesy potatoes. So now I'm like grabbing onto 2 super high quality keywords right there. Okay, so that's what we did with that one. What an awesome post. You can see Heather's logo is even old. That's so funny. So let's get into the strategy. All right. So the strategy. All right. So from posting more to posting smarter, and we talked a little bit about that at the beginning there. But like chasing, we don't want to chase engagement, right? We want to promote it. We want to get people just to engage because we gave them something valuable, because we asked them a question. We're not trying to chase that engagement, right? So and we're not constantly posting. All right. Obviously, if you're inside the directory and you're a premium member, you can post about your offer once a day, right? And whatever. So if you can do that, do it. But come up with something different every time. I talk about this all the time, guys. If you're a part of my group and you do the small business weekends, change up your posts. I get so I get annoyed when people are just copying and pasting the same thing. You guys, that shows, okay? It shows that you're not taking
Especially in the
time.
same day. If you're
Especially,
copying and pasting in the same day, you need to switch it up.
right, exactly, absolutely. So, remember, not only can we create evergreen pins, we're creating evergreen school posts. All right, as long as this school, that you're posting in is around, or you don't do something stupid and you're and the, and the admin deletes it, it's gonna live on forever, right? And so that means we're going to be driving traffic from Google and other searches and Pinterest, right? And like I said earlier, it's a growth that is compounding over time, right? If we post things that are trending now, right, that people are searching for, maybe it's going to go out of trend or out of style, but it's going to come back, right? That's just what happens, and we see it all the time, right? So, with that, I know that wasn't super long, but I want you guys to think about your posts when you post. All right? Be intentional about it. Take that time. All right, you should be post you should take that time to post that post to get that engagement, and now you have an asset that you can drive traffic back to, that you can send people to, they can create pins for. All right? And that's the most important thing, is to be able to take that time, create that good asset that you feel proud about. Like, it's just, treat these posts that you're posting in the directory or any other public school like a blog post. Would you just like post text and that's it? No, you're going to say, "Oh, I'm adding pictures. I'm adding a PDF if I can. I'm adding a video if I can, if I have that video, or a GIF or something." You're going to spice that up because, just posting some text with, "Hey, join my school," that is not going to help you out. All right. I remember when I started growing, and Pinterest School was basically launching. I decided to get outside of my own school and start getting inside of other schools and showing up, being the expert in my field of whatever, which is Pinterest. And I wanted to be the number one Pinterest school on Skool. And guess what? We're here. And the reason that I did it is I showed up, I provided value, and anytime that one had a question about Pinterest, they'd be like, "Oh, well, what about Pinterest School?" Or I know this guy, or heard about this one person or whatever here that was talking about Pinterest. Okay, you want to be that person. Whatever your niche is, you want to be that person that people, and you can only do that by showing up and getting outside of your own school, being on Skool. I talk about it all the time, but we are on the ground floor of the number one learning platform ever. Like, I mean, platforms have come and gone, but as you guys notice and you see what's happening with what Skool is doing, and they're pushing for 1 billion users, and what they're doing with the Skool growth and all that kind of stuff. I mean, getting on and posting and getting yourself known on Skool, whether it be in your group, obviously, or if you have one, or outside in other groups that we're talking about today, is so important. Now, obviously, we haven't even talked about if you have your own public school, what the heck? I mean, you guys, that's literally just a blog. You don't even have a blog. You literally have a straight up blog right there for yourself that you can do whatever you want with. Greatest platform ever, because you can, I mean, for if you're on a hobby plan, you can literally have a blog and a school and a community for $9. It's crazy to me. And if you just upgrade the pro, I mean, you have everything you absolutely would ever need for a website and a community and a blog and whatever you need to do if it's public. So with that, I would definitely want to take some questions, and I think that might be a good route to go. But I know Heather's going to talk a little bit about what she's going to talk about here on Skool and for the directory. So let me unshare that really quick. But Heather, I want you to go ahead and we'll take questions afterwards if we have them. Okay? Sweet.
The one thing I wanted to add, because we've never really talked about this before, is we have these posts inside of the directory. So if you're a premium member, you can obviously do your own posts. You can structure it however you want. But I also want you to realize that inside of the directory, when we do some of these specialized posts where like for instance, I did a Sunday tool. It was like a tool Sunday of like your favorite tools for building a business. And there's probably, I don't know, 17 to 20 different tools that are on there. So I was recently able to go back, and each comment has its own link.
Yep.
So you can use that over in Pinterest, and you can link back to a specific comment on a post. It
Yep.
doesn't have to be a full post, which is really nice because I don't want to have to go back and then create a separate, like I have an affiliate for Novo checking account. I don't want to do a post about Novo checking account in my community. It was just a comment on a thread, and I can incorporate that as far as the pin brings you back to that comment, and then that comment gives them more context, and then they can go from there. So that was just like another way that you can utilize it. It doesn't have to be a full-on blog post. It can just be a comment that directs people in the right direction. So it's kind of like maybe a short little detour.
Yeah, that's awesome. For sure.
I've got a little frog in my throat.
I think we lost you.
No, that frog in my throat is causing issues on my end. Do we have any questions on how to utilize public school communities to drive traffic to your community? Now,
Yeah.
granted, if you've got a public one, great. But there's the reason I created the directory was for communities that are better suited to be private. Like Tim's Pinterest school is private.
Right.
There's people that have coaching communities that, yeah, we don't want those to be public. We want those to stay private so you can have those intimate conversations, but you still want to drive traffic back.
Right.
So if we do have questions, otherwise, I have a couple of announcements, and it is Monday.
It is
So
Monday.
I have a question.
go
Well,
for it.
what's up, Steve?
So, not this isn't like to be combative. It's just for me, what the benefit of going from Pinterest to a public group to your private group versus going from Pinterest
Mm.
directly to your own group?
Yep. That's the question. So that's a great question.
Yeah. What?
So,
Why? Yeah.
yeah, well, because I mean, if I'm pinning to like my private group, they can't see the information. Like they'd be like, oh, well, you could technically take your private group link and pin that on Pinterest, but they're not going to see it. They're only, if they're not part of your group, they're only going to see it as soon as they click on that link. Yes, it is a link for that post, but they're not a member, so they're going to get pushed straight to your about page. So they don't even know. So basically, you just be like, sorry, you don't get any of this information.
Okay.
The great thing about pushing it back to a public post, just think about it as like it's just a page on the internet. You know, and then they can see it and be like, oh, they can interact with it, and then hopefully what you have on there is some comments and some social proof and some things that maybe they can download or a recipe they can get. I'm just talking specifically to Steve
Sure.
here,
Sure.
but like they just downloaded this PDF with this sweet recipe for this weekend for barbecue. Well, I want to, and then in that post, you say Steve has like, hey, if you want more recipes, join here, right? You can't do that if you're sending them straight to your private school. You can't do that.
Right. But a
Yeah,
lot of that content can't that be in pin?
it
The
And I'm
can.
just
pin,
trying to be advocate, devil's advocate here for
Well,
just
sure, but that's a waste.
so
Like
I understand.
if I provide
Okay.
the entire recipe on a pin, what would they ever do? They're gonna do is look at that pin, be like, ah, sweet, thanks, Steve. But if they
Okay.
say, here's an awesome recipe that I used this weekend, save me time, and I did this and this, get that recipe here. They click on it. Now they're over here, and now they got the recipe from you, and they get that value, and then they say, oh yeah, I want more from Steve. I'm gonna go join his school.
Okay.
Right. So I think like, I mean,
So I think
yeah,
that's the real thing then, is to get people to start thinking about what more can they get
yes, a
versus
lot more. Yeah, because
just the one and done. It's to drive them to a place where there's
100%.
there's a post and there's comments and they can see everybody else's interaction.
Sure.
And then okay.
You want to provide that value and you want to get that trust from them of like saying, yeah, awesome. I tried Steve's recipe this weekend and then I'm going back to see what else he has.
Okay.
And I think that's going to be the big thing. And that's the same thing for me. Like, if you're teaching anything, like if I'm coaching and teaching on Pinterest, which I do, then I'm going to provide that article, that value, that question that everyone is asking. I'm going to answer that question. Be like, oh, that answered my question because I searched it or I was searching for that. And then I'm going to say, or oh, looks like Tim is the expert on Pinterest. I'm gonna go. I got my information. I got my answer to my question. I'm gonna go join his school,
Okay.
or download whatever, or do whatever you need to, do whatever your call to action is in that post. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Sweet. Yeah, awesome. And we're using those public schools as our platform to drive traffic. We're driving traffic to instead of driving traffic to our always sending people
Anything
to our
else?
about page. Yeah. So, yep. Cool.
it gives us more usable links too. We don't want to be
Oh,
constantly driving to the exact same link all the time.
right. And
Okay.
and that right. And so even though let's say Steve, even so like we're just going to use Steve as an example because we're talking to Steve. But like say Steve, you have five different recipes that you're posting in the directory this week, right? And even though inside of those recipe posts that you posted in the directory, you are talking about your school, it and you have a link to your school inside of that post, that URL to that post is different. So you can post that on Pinterest as much as many times as you want. Because it's going to be all five of those posts are different links. Even though you're talking about your school in there, it's a different
Okay.
link. It's still a fresh link, a fresh post, you know?
Does Pinterest frown upon multiple visit this site to the same place? Is that an
No,
algorithm
no,
thing
it'd be
that
fine. No, it'd be
okay.
fine. No, as long as you so one of the things, guys, if you're listening, I know Steve has heard me say it, and a couple of you guys heard me say it, but like if I can link back to the same exact link. So if I could link back to my cheesy potato recipe post multiple times on Pinterest, the same exact link if I want to, but I have to spread those out. I got to spread them out between 4 to 7 days. I don't want to post, and I want to change the picture and change the title and description. But with the great thing about it is, with posting in the directory or something public, we can create a bunch of different posts. And now, like Heather said, we have all these different assets that we can pin over on Pinterest. Post 30 posts in the directory, pin them over on Pinterest, and now we have people coming back and looking at our stuff that we created to have links to our about page, our offers, our whatever it is. So, yep, very cool.
Yep. And Elena was asking about putting keywords in the posts to a
Oh,
public community. Yes, it is very, very important
yes,
because your posts are SEO searchable
right.
throughout Google and um, the chat bots and stuff. So
All of
yes.
that. Yeah. And so I didn't even get into, I mean, it's not even that hard, guys. If you have your keyword that you want to rank for or whatever it is, it needs to go in your title. It needs to go at the beginning of your description, somewhere in the middle, and somewhere at the end. And you don't want to spam it, but you want to talk about like Pinterest marketing in the title, Pinterest marketing in the first couple sentences, in the middle, and at the end. And that's it, right? And maybe your image also has something to do with that. Because remember, when you pin over on Pinterest, Pinterest wants to see a few things. All right, let me tell you what those are. All right, so Pinterest wants to see your keywords in your title, in your description. Oh, sounds similar, doesn't it? All right, and then also Pinterest wants to see the image, right? That is what you're linking to. So here's my pin, here's my link, and when I click on that link, I want to see that image. Pinterest wants to see that image, and then everything ties together. If you're talking about Pinterest marketing, or let's use cheesy potatoes. So cheesy potatoes, I'm talking about that in the directory, right? I've got it in my title, I got it in my description, I've got an image that says it on it, my keyword, and I pin it over on Pinterest. When all these things align over on Pinterest with your keywords and the link makes sense too, Pinterest is going to push that up into the search. Because if I am linking to something that has nothing to do with cheesy potatoes, do you think Pinterest is going to recommend that to people? No. They're going to be like, you're not even talking about cheesy potatoes on the link. We're not going to show this to people. So you got to make sure whatever you're linking to, and that's where, Steve, what we want to get away from. We can link to our about page often as we can, but we're not always going to be talking about cheesy potato recipes in my cooking on my cooking about page. Like, it's not going to be in there, but it can be on these posts, right? Very specifically be on those posts. So we want to be careful with that as well. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, people freak out about SEO, but it's not hard. Keyword research, put your keywords in your title, in your description, and somewhere on the image, and that's good for school posts, and that's good for Pinterest as well. So, and that's it. SEO, simple SEO. If you don't know, join Pinterest School. I wrote the book. Well, it's not really a book. It's like a class. I wrote the class on simple SEO, right? It's like 11 minutes of video of me talking about SEO, and you will understand it, I promise, because it's very, very simple. So don't let that little acronym freak you out. Okay. Sweet.
So Lion was asking, is this mostly centered for best for free communities and not paid ones? It can be used for both.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be used for anything. Free, trial, paid, whatever you want to. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a community, right? It can be an Etsy shop. It can be a Beacons page. It can be whatever your business is. You can, well, on the directory, that is, because some schools don't allow you to post. But that's why this directory is special. So anyway, but that, it makes sense because so not everybody's going to have a school. I think everybody should have a school, but that's coming, you
I think
guys.
everybody should have a school. But with that in mind, keeping in mind that the reason that the directory was born was for people that don't want to have a school of their own,
Right.
or if they do have a school of their own and it's a private school, they still want the ability to be able to drive traffic back to it. So there's that aspect. And there are a plethora of other promo communities out there. So just keeping track of which ones you feel most comfortable in. It
Yep.
might not be the directory, it might be one of the other ones. So find the space that you're most comfortable, that you like to show up in, and where you can participate, because that's going to be where you're going to find your people.
Right.
Some of them are paid, some of them are not. Mine is a free group, free community to join. And if you do want to share your links, yes, it is part of the premium um, tier. There's other promos that come with that premium tier too. So just making sure that when you do join one of the promo communities that are on Skool, make sure, number one, that it is a public one, because otherwise you're just networking. It's not searchable.
Yep. Yep.
And then make sure that you're following the rules. Every community has their own rules, and they're there for a reason. So let me just
So
look and see if there's any other.
so let me teach you guys something real quick. So I just saw the question of like, is the directory public, right? So if you are in question of a school, I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, is that all right, Heather?
Yep.
All right, so sharing my screen, showing you guys the directory. Anytime you look at an about page, am I showing my screen? Is it good?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Anytime that you look at a school, this right here is going to show you if it's public or private. You can see public. If it's not, it'll say private, right there. So if you guys look at Pinterest School's about page, uh-oh, it's private. Whatever. All right, so that's the difference, right? If you have a question about that, if you see like, hey, promos, and you see that if it's a promo type school, be wary about like promoting in there. Does it? I mean, it just makes sense. It's got to be public to get the most value out of it, right? So there you go. I don't even know how to unshare my screen. Okay, there we go. So that's how you do it. So it's that little right there. Look at any about page, and it'll show you if it's private or public. Okay. So
Okay, so I'm going to share the link to the page where you can find my community, Tim's community, as well as Rose's community.
sweet.
And it will allow you to go ahead and just join through that link. Before we go, Rose has something that she would like to contribute and let you guys know. There's an upcoming event coming this Wednesday. So go ahead and Rose, tell us a little bit more about that.
So Tim talked a lot about driving traffic to your posts, and he also mentioned that you should not be using the same posts over and over again, use variety and everything else. Um, and the thing is when you keep posting the same thing over and over again, people quit watching, they quit reading, they quit listening. And if you're posting, what you're posting is not engaging, people are not going to click the links and join your communities. So on Wednesday, we are going to be doing a follow-up session about the missing link between Pinterest and growth. And we're going to take a look at why some content gets scrolled right past and nobody ever clicks on it, and what kind of content makes people stop and actually do something, and how to close the gap. So to join that, you need to be in Skool Homeroom, and we're going to be doing that Wednesday at 1 o'clock.
Central?
What?
Central?
Oh, is that true?
Center time, yes. Join the community and look at the calendar.
It'll be in the right time zone in the calendar.
Oh
It
yes.
will
Okay.
be.
Awesome. Then the last thing that I wanted to bring up is Tim just opened up a brand new community, has absolutely nothing to do with anything we've been
Oh
talking about
my.
today, but we have the floor. So I wanted to just shout out that he's got a new Amazon affiliate community. And if you click the link that I put in the comments, you'll see it there. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about that?
Yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be awesome.
Go for it.
Let me share my screen if that's okay too, because listen, I'm very excited about this because I've been talking about Amazon. Um, I'm doing Amazon for a very long time. So, real quick, funny story. I got into Amazon influencer. I bought a course just like years ago. I tried to get into it. I got denied like 3 times. I couldn't even get into it. I'm like, what the heck? I'm done with it. My wife, Christina, tried one time, got in right away. I'm like, what? So we have been Amazon influencers, meaning that we're actually getting paid to create videos. We're getting items sent to us on a daily basis. I literally have, you can't see it in this office, but there's so much stuff, you guys. It's so cool. We actually have businesses actually contacting us and sending us, wanting to work with us, paying us outside of actual, paying us to create videos. It's amazing. But the point of the Deal Hub, okay, there's two types of people that can join the Deal Hub. All right, people that just want to find deals and shop. All right. That's because listen, tomorrow is Amazon Prime Day. It goes for like 3 or 4 days, and there are some amazing deals that we're going to be posting in the next whatever, how many hours. We're going to be posting those, and Christina and I have access to those because we were like gold level status for influencers. We're pushing towards the last level, which is a platinum. It's really awesome, but we have access to like different codes and things like that. I mean, you see it all around, but we're doing it inside of Skool, and we're actually the only school that has Amazon deals. I looked, I searched, I did my research, and there aren't any other ones around. So get in on this, you guys. It is free to join. But the other side of this, I'm actually way more excited about this than anything. But this is going to be a platform for Amazon influencers slash associates slash, if you're not an influencer, that's okay. You can still share links, but it's going to be a platform for people to share those deals, those finds, those things that, and it's not just going to be me and Christina posting, it's going to be this community and it's going to grow. We're also launching tomorrow morning. If I get it done, no, it's going to get done. We actually have an app where you can also, so you're going to be able to post your deals inside the school. You're going to be able to post your deals on an app where it's awesome. It literally looks like Pinterest. It's amazing. And so I'm super excited about that, you guys. So if you want to join, get over there and join it today. It's free for now because it might not be free forever. But get in there. We're already buzzing. We have a whole classroom of Amazon influencer videos. I have an entire affiliate marketing kit for you. So as soon as you join, you hit level 2 in the community, which will take you 30 seconds. You can get that affiliate kit, and it's awesome. And I'm showing you guys some data right there you shouldn't be seeing. That's okay. But it doesn't really matter. But we went in 22 hours. We ranked top 50 in the tech category, and that's how fast this thing is growing. So get in there, invite your people, and it's awesome. So thank you for letting me talk about that. And let me unshare the screen. So, all right, sweet.
Less than 12 hours in, and you already had members at level 6. I
Oh,
thought
I don't
I
even
was
know
just
what
like,
was even.
what?
I don't even know what's happening. Those ladies were crazy. But yes, they went nuts on that. So, but join that up, you guys. We're bringing the same energy, the same tips, the same value that we do that I have done with Pinterest School, but now it's Christina and I combined, and we're gonna be unstoppable.
Bree wants to know if that applies to Canadians on Amazon.
Yep, yep. You can post. Yep, you can post about anything. Any country can post. It just depends on if what applies when they click on it. So that's just, yep, they can do it for sure.
Awesome.
So thank you guys.
All right. Well, it is Monday. We all have work to do, so I'm going to go back to work. I've got a packed schedule. I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and we will have a replay. So if you guys want to go back through and look at Tim's slides again, the replay will be up later today, hopefully later today. And grab that link, check out the other communities, and have an amazing week.
See
Thanks,
you guys.
guys.